Okay, students, uh, in this video we will see the solution of question number 3. Okay, but before we move on to the solution of this particular question, let me tell you that in question number 1, we were supposed to prepare balance sheet also. Okay, but in number 1, I didn't solve that balance sheet part. Okay, just to make you familiar with the journal entries. Okay, so let us pass the entry for here and see how to prepare balance sheet also. Okay, so in this particular question, it is the case of your oversubscription. Okay, because company had issued for 40,000 number of shares, but public they applied for 45,000 number of shares. So this is the case of your oversubscription. So what is happening here, let us see. Okay, company had a nominal capital of rupees 10 lakh divided into equity shares of rupees 20 each. Okay, so out of which 40,000 equity shares were issued to the public. Okay, so our main focus zone will be on 40,000 equity shares, okay, which were to be payable as rupees 5 on application, rupees 7 on allotment, and rupees 8 on the share call money. Okay, so company they received for 45,000 number of shares. I mean the application. Okay, so the first entry will be bank account debit to share application. We know that. Okay, but it is received on 45,000 equity shares. Okay, the amount will be 2,25,000. So after the first entry is passed, we will move on to second entry, in which the share application money should be transferred to equity share capital account. Okay, so this share application will be transferred to this equity share uh, capital account. Okay, but here uh, company had issued 40,000 number of shares, right? So company can transfer only 40 this application money on 40,000 number of shares, and the remaining money here it can refund or it can use it as a pro rata basis. Okay, as I mentioned in the lecture video before also, that the case of pro rata is only possible in case of oversubscription. Okay, so here this is the case of oversubscription, but it has been mentioned in the question that the company refunded application money on 5,000 number of shares. So and remaining 40,000 shares were allotted. So 5,000 number of shares, okay, this application money on 5,000 shares they were refunded. So the entry will be share application account debit to bank account. So when we receive the amount of money on application, the entry will be bank account debit to share application. But whenever we have to refund the amount of money, excess amount of money, the entry will be just reversed. Okay, so this is your reverse entry. So we pass the entries like share application account debit to equity share capital to bank account. And you may think that we may pass the entries separately. No, no, no. You are not allowed to pass the entries separately. You have to do the compound entries only. Okay, this is called your compound entry when more than one transactions are fit together in one single entry. That is known as a compound entry. So we have to pass compound entry only. Okay, anyway, now when the money on allotment was due, the entry will be share allotment account debit to equity share capital account. Okay, 40,000 into 2,80,000. Now don't make this mistake here. Okay, don't uh, make the money due on 45,000 number of shares, because 45,000 number of shares were uh, subscribed by the public, but 40,000 shares were actually issued by the company. Okay, yeah, but in case of this undersubscription, like we had in question number 2, uh, company issued 15,000 and public they applied for 14,000 number of shares. Yes, so in case of undersubscription, you have to stick to the number of shares that have been subscribed by the public. Okay, in case of undersubscription, But in case of oversubscription, you have to stick to the number of shares that are actually issued by the company. Okay. So this is your entry when the amount is due on allotment. Okay. So we will pass the entry for this uh, money that is received on uh, allotment. So here it is mentioned that one shareholder holding 250 shares failed to pay allotment, and another shareholder holding 150 shares failed to pay the amount due on call. So forget about that for the time being. Just stick to your 250 number of shares. So when the allotment money was to be received, a shareholder holding 250 shares failed to pay the amount of money. Okay, so the entry will be bank account debit, call scenario account debit to share allotment account. Okay, so 250 shares, they were due, 1750 was due. Okay, out of this 2,80,000. Now you subtract the amount. Okay, when you subtract the amount, you will get 2,78,250. Okay, so this has been shown here also. Okay, now we pass the entry for share call. So whenever the share call money is to be due, the entry will be share call account debit to equity share capital account. So this is your entry. Okay, so 40,000 into 8. Sorry, this should be this should be 40,000. Please check the journal, sorry, the narrations properly. Okay, because there may be some errors out there. So please check the narrations. Okay, so this share, this is your share call money. So refer to the PDF as well as the video as well, because some corrections can be made in the video. Okay, anyway, so we pass this particular entry, and when we have to record the entry of receipt of this this share call money, the entry will be bank account debit, call scenario account debit to share call account. Okay, and the amounts are as given. So you must have remembered that there was a shareholder who failed to pay the allotment money, okay, who was holding 250 shares, okay. So it will be assumed by default, because there is no information regarding those number of shares in time of share call money. So it is by default, it is assumed that shareholder holding 250 shares failed to pay the share call money also. So now there is one more shareholder who failed to pay the share call money, who was holding 150 shares. So 250 plus 150 will make 400. Okay, so this 400 into 8 will be your 3,200. So the amount to be received in case of share call was 3,20,000, but they are receiving only 3,16,800. Okay, and this 3,200 is the amount due. Remember that this 400 is actually 250 plus 150. Why 250 plus 150? Because this shareholder, okay, who was holding 250 shares failed to pay the allotment money as well as the share call money. Okay, but here in this particular question, nothing has been mentioned. Okay, regarding uh, this calls in area. Okay, for this 250 shares also, but it will be assumed by default that when a shareholder fails to pay allotment money, the subsequent calls will also be calls in area for that shareholder. Okay, until and unless it is mentioned in the question that the calls in area were paid later. But here in this question, nothing has been mentioned, so it will be assumed that the shareholder holding 250 shares failed to pay the share call money also. Hence, 250 shareholder, one shareholder of rupees 200, one shareholder holding 250 shares plus the other shareholder holding 150 shares together makes 400 number of shares. Okay. So let us move on to the preparation of cash book. So we have to prepare the cash book. We know this already, okay? So always remember that we have to show only excuse me, bank column, okay? We have to show the bank column only. I don't know why there are so many typing errors here. Please excuse for that, okay? Uh, this passing of entry is very simple. You know this already in class 11, but let me show you here. You can see here bank account, okay? So whenever you see the bank, okay, just see the banks which are appearing in the debit side, okay? Bank, debit, 2,25,000 for share application. So this bank for your share application, okay? Now let us see on time of allotment. This bank account debit 278,250, 278,250. Whatever the amount that has been written here, okay, in the bank, you need to write the amount only, because 2,80,000 was not received. There was a call scenario of 1,750, okay, so they received actually 2,78,250 rupees, okay. So now we will move on to share call money also. It was received 3,16,800. So here we write 3,16,800 in case of your share call, okay. And again go back to your journal entry, second journal entry. You can see the bank account is appearing in the credit side for rupees 25,000. You need to write buy share application 25,000, okay. So you do the calculation and you find the balance CD here, okay. So the entry will be buy balance CD here, okay. So 795,050, that is the amount of your uh, bank, okay. Now let us see the balance sheet. This is your balance sheet, okay. uh, in 2013, the Companies Act was re-amended, okay. So out there, as per the amendment, we are supposed to prepare balance sheet of a company as per the vertical method, okay. We have to follow vertical method only while preparing balance sheet of a particular company. So as per the vertical method, we have to prepare this. You remember the balance sheet format of partnership accounting, okay. So that is your horizontal, okay. We write liabilities here, okay, liabilities, amount, assets, amount, right. But here in case of company, we have to prepare balance sheet as per the vertical method, okay. And we have to prepare this balance sheet as well as notes to accounts. This is also a part of it, okay. So once you uh, learn this format, you need to learn this format, there is no other way. You have to learn the format, okay. So once you learn the particular format, then it will be very much easy for you to understand, okay. This is very simple. You need to write this Roman number 1, this Roman number 1 only, okay, not the number like this one, this English numeral number 1 and 2. Don't use this number, it is not used, okay. So I have the Companies Act with me. I would be very much delighted to show you the Companies Act to you, but in this lockdown situation, how it is possible, okay. Anyway, so in Schedule 3, okay, of Companies Act, the format has been prescribed, okay. I will share the PDF of that particular uh, Companies Act, okay, of that particular section regarding the preparation of balance sheet of a company. So we have to follow the format, okay. This is your format, okay, equity and liabilities, okay. uh, and number 2, it will be assets. So under this equity and liabilities, we write shareholders funds. So under this shareholders funds, we write share capital, okay. So this is called your main head, equity and liabilities, and this is called your subhead, okay. Main head, subhead. Again, similarly in assets column, we write assets, okay. After that, we write the subhead current assets. So under current assets we write cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so we cannot write here directly cash and bank that we used to write in case of partnership accounting. Okay, this is company accounting, so you have to prepare balance sheet as per the format that has been prescribed in Companies Act 2013. So you have to follow that. Okay, so prepare this first. Okay, format. Okay, don't write the amounts now. Okay, so just prepare the this thing, this items. Okay, write the amounts. Sorry, this items. Okay, yeah, you can write the amount for this cash and cash equivalents. You know that because you have calculated here just now. Okay, 795050. You can write zero. Sorry, you can write the amount here. But when you have to write the amount of share capital, you have to prepare notes to accounts. Notes to accounts should be prepared. Okay, so when you prepare notes to accounts, you have to focus on the numbers that you have placed here. Okay, so this number 1 is given for your share capital. Okay, and number 2 is given for your cash and cash equivalents. So go to notes to accounts now. So see, number 1 share capital. Okay, number 2 cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so whatever the amounts that I have, highlighted here, this using this bold. Okay, so you have to do the same way. Okay, in case of examination you cannot do this bold, just underline it. Okay, it will be understood. So here we have nominal amount, I mean the nominal capital of rupees 10 lakh. Oh, okay, so 50,000 equity shares of rupees 20 each. So if this number 50,000 has not been given, so just divide this amount 10 lakh that has been given in the question by the face value of a share. You will get this number. Okay, 50,000. 10 lakh divided by 20, you will get 50,000. Okay, this is the number of authorized number of shares with the company. Okay, so authorized capital 50,000 equity shares of rupees 20 each. How much the company issued 40,000 equity shares of rupees 20 each for rupees 8 lakh. Now subscribed capital. Okay, under this subscribed capital, you can have two heads here. Okay, you can have two heads like subscribed and fully paid up, subscribed but not fully paid up. Okay, so out there you will write subscribed and fully paid. Okay, whatever the number of shares, they have no calls in area. But in this under this subscribed but not fully paid up, you have to write those number of shares who failed to pay the call money. But instead of doing so, you can just write subscribed but not fully paid up. Okay, the entire amount. Okay, 40,000 equity shares of rupees 20 each. Okay, fully called up. So whenever you see this term fully called up, which means rupees 20. Okay, the entire money of the share was called up, because sometimes what happens is that the company may call up rupees 15. Okay, company may call up to rupees 18. So that is called the called up money. Okay, whatever that has been asked by the company. So here it is fully called up rupees 20. Okay, so you write 8 lakh. So you have to subtract calls in area from that. Okay, so how much is the calls in area? 4,950, 4950. Now go back to your journal entry here. You can see here calls in area was 1750 in case of share allotment. Okay, 1750. Now in share call we have 3200. So you have to add these together. Okay, whatever is the whatever are the calls in area, 1750 plus 3200. Okay, you add these together and you need to subtract from the subscribed number of shares. So you will get 795050. So this is the amount. This is the amount that you are supposed to write here in number 1, that is share capital 795050. Okay, so this is how you prepare the balance sheet. Okay, so this is quite technical and you have to learn the format. That's why I didn't explain this in question number 1, but in question number 3 I'm explaining you. So we will be learning this balance sheet. Okay, again in the upcoming questions. So have a look at the format. Okay, it has been given in your book. I don't know which chapter. Okay, maybe uh, after this redemption of debenture, okay, there may be a chapter called schedule 3, or preparation of balance sheet of companies, or preparation of final accounts of companies. Okay, I don't have the book with me, so just check. Okay, out there the proper format of balance sheet is provided. Okay,